Hey guys, welcome to day 6. We have a 4 energy day coming in today. So yesterday we had our 3, this really big expansive energy. And today we're needing to kind of pull it in a little bit and create some structures and stability to help support these dreams, desires, and hopes that have been kind of, brewing, or possibilities that we maybe didn't see before. Creating some structures to actually allow it to come to fruition. So what is it that you can create in your day today? What actions can you take to help support this experience that we had yesterday? So I don't know about you guys, but I posted a little bit about some of the things that I even saw in my environment that reminded me of that kind of big 3 energy. It's like these really bright, expressive colors within the neighborhood, these outfits that just seem outrageous, but just imagining the personalities of these colors, of these people, of the experiences you would have if you were wearing this outfit. And so it was really fun to play in that. I was part of conversations that were really allowed a different perspective to come in. Maybe the same thread of content or idea, but it was said in a different way, so it was able to land in a different way because it was outside of the perspective that I held. So there's so much value in bringing those conversations out and allowing it to be shared with others and get others' points of view. Sometimes it's not even saying something per se, but it's just listening and being part of that group environment and dynamics. So I hope that you were able to kind of experience that yesterday for you. In this 4 energy, like I was saying, it's really kind of, you've had kind of this birth of creativity or this experience of expansion. So now the next step in the process is creating that structure and stability to support that. How can you do that? By taking, it's a physical, more earthly energy. So it's the doing of the thing. So you had this creative idea, it's the doing of the thing. The other energy is that of King of Diamonds. And so we have switched from that more dream phase or kind of desires, passion, that kind of thing that manifests with the spades. But now we're going to be pulling in the diamonds, which is all about self-worth. And I feel like when we're looking at the chakras, that really speaks to both the heart energy, because we're bringing our passions, our desires along with us, but now we're going to marry it with the solar plexus energy of confidence, of feeling deeply connected with your sense of purpose. So this is kind of driving you forward, but you always want to make sure that the two are always connected, because if you only drive from this place, it can tend to flip into a little bit more of the ego side of things, and you have to be careful not to have it be a overpowering energy or insistence that there's going to be moving in one direction or another. You always want it to be heart-led as well. So that way there is that marrying. I feel like it's the marrying of the masculine and the feminine energies as we're coming into taking action into the world. And so the card that we have today that has come in is the 7 of Cups. And we've had the 7, we've spoken of that before. And this really is of trust and faith, of taking action. And when I spoke about it, I think it was even yesterday, that there needs to be taking action without knowing the how. It's the very next action. So just figure out the very next step that you need to take. We can think big picture, but then we start looking at it's like macro to micro. Okay, we've got the big picture in our mind, but what is the very next step we can take? And it's knowing that through taking that action. So with this card, there's this feeling of contemplation, right? All the bowls have been turned over, everything's out on the table. But what are we going to do now? What is the next step? Instead of trying to think in the mind and trying to calculate all the different scenarios, it's take the next step. Take the very next step and then just see. And from that place, you can recalibrate where it is that you need to go, because there will be a felt sense. Is this in alignment? Is this serving my purpose? And then you can recalibrate. So often the shadow side of the 7 is that you get stuck in indecision and worry, and kind of that critical voice just gets louder and louder, and then you end up making no decision at all. So the challenge for today is just taking that next step. What is it that you can create for yourself? These structures that not box you in or create a sense of constriction or isolation, but something that allows you to step upon and then lift you higher, elevate you higher into states that you normally would not have access to, because you are creating these structures that also create more ease. So even though today it might feel like that you're having to do a little bit of work in the forefront and really kind of, have a little bit more of a critical lens or more discerning of what is it that is really important to help me to reach my goal. But in the long run, it's going to help to alleviate kind of the mess in the mind, because there will be a little bit more clarity about which direction you're taking. So I'm excited to see how this kind of manifests for you today. It's really important to me that this information is applied in a really practical way, and we're able to use it to propel us forward, to allow us to be in this world, to be within our own being in just true to the self, right? That we are able to manifest our heart's desires. So I'm excited to see how this lands. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.